Now, just to recap from what we did in the past, look up, please. We said that equations come from what? Balanced scales. Remember that? All right. And our objective, I can solve and graph one variable equation. Read together. 1, 2, 3. I can solve and graph one variable equation. Read again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're already started with one variable equations. The only thing we did simple ones in the past. Today we're going to move on to multi-step. Okay, something a little bit different. So on your, you don't need this one. You don't need the Freyer model because we already know it, right? We know what one variable equations are. How about steps? What are our 4 steps? Simplify, isolate, plot, and check. Okay, so we got that. So now check this out. The other day we did these kind. Look up to the screen. But today we are here. The time before we did, be nice, we did this. Now we are here. Before we did this, now we are here. Before we did this, now we are here. So what we did before, look up to the screen, what we did before, they were called one-step equations because they only required one step to solve. Now they're called two-step equations. So copy this one, example 2, 3x plus 2 equals 25. Copy that, please. All right, here we go. The equation is 3x plus 2 equals 25. Before we get started, though, pens down, eyes up here. Look up, please. Okay? So check this out. Before we get started with this, I'm going to tell you a little story. Antes de comenzar esto, les voy a contar una historia. So let's say this one day, there was this one kid, and I'm just going to take a name at random, and his name was Brian. And Brian wanted to give this girl a gift. So he wrapped it nice and shiny. Oh, the bow. My bad. Here's the bow. There it is. Okay? There's a present, right? So he gets to the girl's house, knocks on the door, and they tell him that she's not there. So he's like, oh, can I leave this present for her? Sure. So he drops off the present, right? Now be nice. What do you think she's going to do as soon as she sees that it's from Brian? Very good. She's going to take away the bow first. Very good. Be nice. Throw it away. Be nice. So, first thing she does is what? Take the bow off, right? Here's the bow. All right. What's the second thing she's going to do? Unwrap it. So she's going to take off the wrapping paper. And the last thing she's going to have is a box. Like so. Is that correct? Now, do we know what Brian wrapped in there? No. So let's say that we're going to call that, whatever comes out, we're going to call it X because we don't know what it is, right? Okay? Well, guess what? This is the same thing that happens to these equations. We start off with X, and then they do stuff to it, and all of a sudden it becomes this. Everybody with me? This is the present. Look up, please. This is this. And what we need to do is work things around, which means take away the bow, take away the wrapping paper, take away the box, in order to find out what X is. Everybody with me? So to get started, check this out. This what we do here are operations. Watch. Parentheses and power. Who remembers order of operations? Okay. Multiplication and division, addition and subtraction. Okay. Don't write this down. Just pay attention. So watch. When we get this equation, it looks like this. The first thing that went away was the bow. The bow is parentheses and powers. That's what we do first all the time. The second thing that we put away was what? Wrapping paper. So then the next thing that we start getting out is addition and subtraction. And what's left at the end? The box, which is multiplication and division. So notice that we're working backwards. Do you guys notice that? Except for we do start with parentheses and powers. Everybody follow? So, with that said, watch. Let me move this out of the way. All right? So watch. Line down the equal sign. This is the variables over here. What operations do you see? Addition. And when there's a number in the variable, it's what? Multiplication. Are we there so far? Okay. So, looking at this, where do we start according to what we did here? Where do we start? Do we have any parentheses or powers? No. What is the next thing? Addition. So let's see. Addition. So what is the opposite of addition? Subtract 2. Subtract 2. We're left with 3x equals 23, Michael Jordan. Next, what is the last thing we do here? Multiplication. And what is the inverse of multiplication? Division. Therefore, we're left with x equals, 3 fits in there 7 times. That's 21 to 23, that's 2/3. Copy that, please. Okay, how do we get 7 2/3? Let me show you that. Watch. I'm going to do that in blue. Okay. 23 divided by 3. 3 fits in here 7 times. 2 left over. That's how we get 7 2/3. Everybody see that? But if I continue going, I put a decimal and a 0. 3 fits in here 6 times. Add another 0. 3 fits in there again 6 times. What do you guys notice? A repeat. So therefore this could be x equals 7.6 bar. Either one is correct. Everybody got it? So we're going to use this process. I want you guys to write out the operation, so like that we know what we're doing for each case. All right, here we go. Copy this next one. Example 2b. We got 12 equals 4y minus 8. Copy that. All right, let's do this one together. Line down the equal sign. And we first are going to find out what operations do we see next to the y. What is this? Subtraction. And what is this? Multiplication. So where do we start? Wherever there's addition and subtraction. So what is the opposite? Add 8. Add 8. We're left with 20 equals 4y. What's our last step? Multiplication, which is the inverse. 4 divided by 4. We're left with 5 equals y. How do you feel? Good? We got this? All right. So, Copy this next one. See if you can do this next one by yourself. Negative 5x plus 12 equals 37. Negative 5x plus 12 equals 37. Copy that and solve. Go. All right, let's see what we got. Here goes the process. Line down the equal sign. Guys, focus, please. Here it goes. What operations do we have? Addition and multiplication. Where do I start? Inverse is subtract 12. Subtract 12. We're left with negative 5x equals 25. What's our last operation? Multiplication. So that means we're going to divide by negative 5. X equals negative 5. Hands if you got that. Okay. We got this, right? All right. So now check this out. Copy, not that one. Copy this one. Example 3A. Just copy it. We're going to do this one together, but I'm going to start you off first. Okay? 3A. Just copy it. Don't solve it, please. You're going to make a mistake. Here it goes. Pens down, eyes up here. Watch. Line down the equal sign. By looking at it, it looks like there's subtraction. Is that correct? But it's not. There's a coefficient here. Therefore, this is multiplication. Who sees that now? Okay. Now, what is the invisible sign right here? Positive or addition, right? So where do we start? So what is the inverse? Minus 8 minus 8. This cancels. We're left with negative 1 times A equals 6. From there, if this was multiplication, what is the inverse? Divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1. This is A equals negative 6. Copy that, please. You see how from far away it could have been a mistake if I used this as subtraction? Yeah, so be careful with that. So what are we looking for when we get these kind of equations that if there's a variable and there's a negative sign next to it, what operation is it? Is it subtraction? Look up, please. Whenever we have an equation like this and there's a variable and there's a subtraction next to it, is it a subtraction? What is it? Multiplication. Okay, let's see if you can do this one by yourself. Example 3Q. 20 equals 7 minus x. Copy that and see how you do with that one. Go. Okay, let's see what we got. Line down the equal sign. What is my operation here? What operations do I have? Multiplication, because there's an invisible 1 here, negative 1. And this one is addition, so I'm going to start here. Subtract 7, subtract 7. 13 equals negative 1 times x, or negative 1x. And from there we divide by negative 1. Negative 13 equals x. Hands if you got that. Okay? We got this, right? All right. We're going to do a couple more practice on this. So, copy this next one, though. Negative 3 equals m over 4 minus 6. Negative 3 equals m divided by 4 minus 6. Let's do this one together. Line down the equal sign. What operations do we see here? There's subtraction. What else? and division. Where do we start? Subtraction. So what is the inverse? Add 6, add 6. We're left with 3 equals m divided by 4. My last operation is division, so what is the opposite of division? Multiply times 4, multiply times 4. Here's a giant 1 right here, so 1 times m is m equals 12. That's it. Pretty straightforward, right? So the only one that we need to worry about is the one that has a variable with a negative sign. Is that correct? All right, see if you can do these next two by yourself. Copy that. Both of them. We got 12 minus a equals 27, and negative 7 plus equals m divided by 9 minus 12. See if you can do those by yourself. Copy and solve. Go. Okay, let's see how we did. Look at this one. Line down the equal sign. What operations? Addition and multiplication. Is that correct? So this was a negative 1 right here. I'm going to start with addition. So the inverse is subtract 12, subtract 12. We're left with negative 1a equals to 15. What's my last step? Divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1. A equals negative 15. Hands if you got that? Okay. If you're not getting this, it's because you're forgetting to do the negative 1 here at the beginning. That's multiplication. Okay? Let's go to the next one. Let's see. Line down the equal sign. What are my operations? Division and subtraction. I'm going to start with subtraction. Add 12, add 12. We're left with 5 equals m divided by 9. Division, what is the inverse? Multiplication times 9 times 9. Here's a giant 1. We're left with m. This is 45, so 45 equals m. Hands, if you got that? Bam! All right. How we doing? Show me with your fingers how comfortable you are with these. 5 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. I got some 3s, some 5s, some 4s, some 10s. Some of you need to wash your hands. All right. So with that said, now we get to the funner ones. Example, Shazam Q. Copy this one, please. Yeah, that's my word. Here we go. 2x minus 3 equals 7. But we're not going to solve that. We're going to solve it using cups and tiles. Yay. Here we go. I know. We're going to draw the picture. Here we go. Look up to the screen. Let's start. How many cups do we start right now? 2. So you draw 2 circles. What else? 3 negatives. 1, 2, 3. Okay? What's next if we were to do this? Line down and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So, how do we cancel this? By making them what? 0 pairs. So therefore I need to do what? Balance out. So 3 positives here and 3 positives here. So now this is a 0 pair. So we're left with 1, 2 cups, right? And we're left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Is that correct? Yeah, right? 7 and 3 more, that's 10. Do you guys see that? Okay. So now, the question is, how many of these fit into each cup? That means I need to separate the cups. There they are. So, what can we do to find out how many fit into each cup? How many groups are we going to make, everyone? 2, because there's how many cups? 2. So if there's 10 of these, how many will fit into each cup? Let's see. This is one group, will fit in here, and this with this fits in here. Are we there? So therefore, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we needed to divide it into 2 groups, and that's how we know that each cup is going to have how many? 5. X equals 5. Well, the cup equals 5, right? Everybody got it? Okay, do one by yourself. Here we go. Example, super duper cube. Bam. Let's see. 3y plus 1 equals negative 5. Negative 5. See how you do with that one using cups and tiles? I'll leave this one as an example. Copy that and go. Okay, let's see. I'm going to do it right underneath here. How many cups do we start with? 1, 2, 3. What else do we have? 1 positive, and then the line down for the equation, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are we there so far? How do we cancel this one? Balance it out with a 0 pair, right? So what do we need to do here? A negative, and whatever we do to one side, do to the other. This is a 0 pair, so therefore I bring these down. I got 1, 2, 3, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more, that's 6. Are we there so far? Okay. So, I want to find out how many of these fit into each cup. So how many groups are we going to make? 3. So I need to separate these so I can see how many fit into each cup. So how many groups? 3 groups of 2. This one in here, this one in here, and this one in here, which means 1, 2 for this one, 1, 2 for this one, and 1, 2 for that one. Hands if you got that. Okay? Fairly simple? Yeah, right? All right. So now that we're done with the easy stuff, let's move on to the funner stuff. Yay! It's my word. Bye. Copy this one. Example number 5. It says solve the equation 30 less than 4 times a number is equal to 14. Write that down. 30 less than 4 times a number is equal to 14. Yes. I'm sorry? No, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Okay. So you copied that one, and we're going to do this one together. But before that, just copy it, and I'll get you started. So, let's see. Whoa. Okay, look up. Once again, I'm going to refer you. Did I mention the cubed poster already? Okay. Everybody look over here. I have this poster over here called cubed, which means it's an acronym for each letter of something that we need to do with word problems. For example, the C means circle important numbers. So let's look at the problem that we have. What are important numbers? 30 less than, okay. What else? 40 times a number, and equal to 14. Those are important numbers, so you circle those, please. Do that with blue if you have blue. Next, the U. What does U stand for? Underlying questions. What is a question here? It's not a question, but it's more of a, exactly, instructions, which is solve the equation, which means we need to write an equation out of this, okay? B means box, keywords, or phrases. So I'm going to box here the is. And I'm going to start right there. Is, we know that this is equal. So I'm going to put the symbol right here, is. Is equal, okay? What's the other one easy to look at? 14 goes here, okay? Focus, please. Now, check this out. When we get to these, look up, please. Whenever we see less or more than or adding or subtracting, leave that till the end. Leave this one till the end. Wherever you see less than, more than, add, or subtract. So that means we're going to focus on this one. 4 times a number. How can we write this? 4y, 4x. I'm going to put 4y. Okay? There it is. And we're going to leave this one to the end. What is 30 less? Minus 30. That one goes right over here. Do we know how to solve this? Okay, solve it, please. See what you get. Line down the equal sign. There's multiplication and subtraction. Where do I start? Subtraction, so that means I add 30. Add 30. We're left with 4y equals 44. The last step is multiplication, so that means I'm going to divide by 4. Divide by 4. Y equals 11. Hands if you got that. That is correct. Everybody see that? All right. And so for tonight's home play, there's going to be a couple that they're going to ask you to translate. Some other ones that are going to ask you to draw a picture, such as the cups and tiles. So our home play for tonight is found on page 188. All right? All right, have a good one, everyone. See you guys tomorrow. There's shooting today if you stay. Bye.